What's going on, gamers? Hopefully everyone's doing pretty good this morning. We got some crazy code coming in tonight, so hopefully that passes over well. And wherever the hell else everyone else is at, we got some news here today, and it's gonna align exactly with what we've been talking about the past month. Definitely when it comes to how unfinished this generation was. And that's a report coming from Sony, which expects the PS5's life cycle to be extended. This is not a surprise. I think this is what people wanted because they didn't get the generation they want. I think Microsoft should do the same thing and try to finish strong on the Xbox and try to give it as much life as possible. If Microsoft allows that. I know Phil Spencer would like that. So here in this report, it says PlayStation 6 is likely to be delayed longer than many have expected. Okay, so this is not bad news. There's a lot to talk about here. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about here. The reason why this is good is because that means that you're going to focus on making the generation stronger, finish stronger, optimize games for these specs that are out, because you think you need more? No, the PS5 Pro with FSR4 is fine. The PlayStation 5 is fine. Look how long the PS4 lasted. Look how good those games looked in those times. Right now, it never is and shouldn't be about power or graphics. I mean, you see the Switch 2 still setting records with the Switch 1 sold too. I'm telling you, most gamers want really good video games. They don't want good graphics because everything already looks good enough. So what we need to do here is make sure that Sony finishes very strong, has a strong portfolio, and keep making the videos that we make to let them know that. Same thing with Xbox. Nintendo, you don't really have to worry about that, but I think Sony's fine now, you know what I mean? They're pretty much in a really good position. You got GTA being able to make sure that's going to happen because it's going to sell like hotcakes, move consoles like hotcakes, even Xboxes. That's why I thought Microsoft should have had a mid-gen refresh, because you would have been able to extend and have people have that for a while and have to worry about anything till minimum late 2028, but more like 2029, which would be better. And you would make up for all that crap that happened with Unreal Engine 5 slop, the stuttering, the broken releases, the cancels. It's just too much of that went on, and the delays because of the COVID bubble. When you add up all that plus the AI goose chase and just the nonsense that went on, you deserve an extra 2 years. So if it was going to be 2027, it needs to be 2029. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, something like that. Late 2028 at the earliest, with 2029 is okay. Because once again, you have the technology that you need. All the developers this generation, the problem was that they were being aligned with NVIDIA and all this other crap to take the shortcut to get the game, finish it, then optimize it for the highest specification first. Because I don't know if you guys even remember that. Even Phil Spencer said the same thing when he was asked, do you think the Series S is a problem? And he was like, no, I don't think it's a problem, because if developers weren't trying to start off at the highest specifications, pretty much based off of what NVIDIA was doing, and they start off on the lowest denominator, they would actually become better developers and be able to put the specifications up to other machine specs easily, and then you will become a better developer. Now you can cater to the lowest denominator. If you cater to the lowest denominator, you most likely cater to the massive consumer market or the massive populace, because not everybody's going to have the highest specs. Even when you think about everything in consoles, do you think everybody goes for the Pro? When those models came out, or higher end PCs, no, everybody's going for what they can get in to be able to at least get the decent performance rate running, right? When you look at what Steam said, when you look at, Xbox One sales, PlayStation 4 sales, it's mostly the base model, you know what I mean? Not that hardcore enthusiasts won't go for the other ones, but it's more about getting in there and being able to have that experience. Like the Series S sold the most, not the Series X, because they want to just be able to play, and everything looks so good nowadays, they will even take that 30 as long as they can get that experience. And that's the type of stuff I'm talking about, where it's like, you can extend a generation easily, and when it comes to PlayStation, because there is no S model, there's just the base and then the Pro. So they're actually in a better position compared to Microsoft. You get what I mean? And Nintendo lasted a while with the Switch 1. It's outselling the Xbox, you know what I mean? Where it's and it's outselling the PlayStation 5 in Japan this year, or something like that, where you're like, yeah, because people just want to play really good video games. So yeah, Sony doing that is definitely not not bad. And that's what a lot of people were talking about. They're saying that they could sit there and wait. They feel like this generation isn't even finished and that, you know, a lot of bad stuff happens. So they're okay with waiting a few more years. If we look at this survey right here, it says, when do you think the PS6 will come out? Nobody is saying 2027. When you look at this, this is just dead in the water. These are just people that are just being ridiculous. You can't take them serious. It says delay is a lie. 2028. We've got a good amount, but the biggest percentage is 2029. And I think now with the way things are aligning with the memory shortage, the SSD shortage and all that, 2029 does seem like a perfect sweet spot. But what would be something before that? The late 2028, though, I think they can stretch it into 2029 in like spring or something, or like June, like Nintendo did or something. You don't necessarily have to launch in the holidays. And I think with the way that things are going, because things may be pricey, launch it earlier in 2029 and then have some deals in the holidays, because the prices are going to just not be the same. They're going to have to at least be minimum $600 for the base PlayStation 6. If anybody's thinking 500, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm saying if they can get everything down. If not, yeah, $700. So, but I don't see Sony trying to go anywhere past that. I'm thinking they're going to want to try to push for that 600 and maybe strip down some stuff. Where it's like, it doesn't have to look all fancy. We're going to strip all that down, and we just want you to be able to get the PS6, and it's going to be about how it performs. You know what I mean? And what are the innovative features, which, you know, they'll have some, can be similar like this generation. So this guy says, don't know their reliability, but saw the link going around. Through the analysis, though the analysis seems to originate from David Gibson, who's reliable, outside of Japan, so unclear how sourced it really is. It is, because this thing is paywalled. The full analysis is also paywalled. It's annoying when they do that. So there's only access to the key takeaways. Gaming division continues strong third quarter. Sony's third quarter results are expected to beat market expectations, driven by sales of both in-house and third-party games. PlayStation life cycle extended. Here's where we get this at. Sony expects the PS5's life cycle to be extended, and the PS6 release is likely to be delayed longer than many expected. That's what I tell people. I don't know why. Like, you get this TMCF, whatever that guy's name is, just makes these PlayStation stuff on Twitter and makes these videos. I'm like, dude, you're such a fanboy. You don't know what you're talking about. Trying to make it seem like, oh, the PlayStation 6 is still in line. It's coming out in 2027. I'm like, 2027? You're insane. The earliest that I was saying back then, if you guys go back and watch some of my videos, if you want to, you don't have to, is late 2028. We're talking about like November 2028. That was the earliest I was taking it. And some people saying 2020, I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, that's fine. No problem with that. Say no to next gen. Yeah, it's too early. If PS6 is delayed until 2029, 2030, then it won't use Zen 6 or RDNA 5, but newer tech. I wouldn't expect the same Orion SoC. I don't know if that on chip is... I don't know. In 2029, 2030, they just mean they delayed it. I don't think they're going to change the internal parts, though. So Zen 7 plus RDNA 6. See, this is like, bro, you don't even need that. Like, no. Scott the Waz making waves. Okay, yeah, no S. Yeah, of course. Can't believe Scott the Waz has this much influence. This guy says it's a tough choice because that's basically telling the higher ups at the company to scrap hundreds of millions of dollars worth of mostly chosen design only to make another, even more expensive one. There goes intelligence. Yeah, guys, I mean, I don't know what that guy was talking about. It's like, no, dude, trust me, those specifications are fine. You're going to be surprised when you get that. I mean, after that, it's like, what else do you really need? November 2028 or November 2029 would be perfect. This is what I was saying, November 2028. And if not, like I said, you can do it earlier in 2029 and have some deals in the holidays. I can't see why not. Who is going to kickstart the next generation by putting out a $1,200 console before then? You know what I mean? Like, Sony's not going to do that. No, they're definitely going to be under 1,000. But when you think about market conditions, it just doesn't make any sense. Delay and get the best deals as possible so you can get that sweet price points. If you have to strip it down, I don't care what it looks like. I care what it performs like. Nobody stares at their PC. I'm telling you, nobody's staring at the PlayStation unless you want to kiss it. And don't do that. Okay, there may be some dust on there too. I don't know. Some people may keep their stuff super clean like that. But even then, don't do that. So yeah, this guy says, thank God for the Pro. That's what I mean. Like, Sony can eventually drop the price of that over time too. They're going to have to, so that the new one looks attractive. You're not going to have a $700 or $750 Pro when you're launching the PS6. You know what I mean? It's like, no, they're going to have to put that down to like $600 by that time. So yeah, I mean, this makes sense, guys. This is why I want to talk about it, like why this makes sense. And it's good to see a source come out and tell you that. And obviously it's paywall, so Why would you waste your time trying to paywall something if, you know what I mean, it's not relevant? No, it is. So like I said, we got the Pro, and if you didn't, you can get that over time, or if you want to hang with your base PS5, nothing wrong with that either. That's good. A PS6 at this stage sounds stupid. Honestly, this gen has been effing awful. It needs more time to cook. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying this. A lot of people who get caught up and knowledgeable and get educated about this start to realize that, yeah, okay, now that I've been told this, these guys are right. Yeah, of course. So this is what we want. Look, yeah, no S again. This gen still didn't offer much anyways. A lot of people saying this. I truly hope so. The jump in technology at this point won't really feel like a new generation, especially coming from the professional PlayStation. Team 2029 release, given the high prices of electronics, it makes sense to delay the next gen. They still have the Pro for people who want something a bit more powerful. Yeah, and we got FSR 4 coming, basically. Or PSSR 2, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. So, look, you have not seen anybody say anything negative. Pretty much everybody's aligning with saying the same thing. So let me know what you guys think about this. Leave some comments down below. It's good seeing this, that they're going to do that. And obviously Sony's not going to, like I said, why would they do that and destroy their lines? It's just dumb. I don't see Sony ever doing it. From a hardware standpoint, they know what they're doing. They're not going to make that mistake. They have too much experience in that field. Just saying. Peace out, y'all. Keep gaming on all platforms.